So what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Movement 6. Before we start, a huge thank you to everybody who subbed in the last few days, in the last few weeks. Thank you for your support. Channel is growing bit by bit. So really proud, really happy for that. If you're new here, don't forget to drop a like and hit subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Now, I've been on a couple of weeks break, and here you can see my daughter going full throttle. No fear in this lady. So spent some time in the snow with family, doing some snowboarding, getting my head cleared. And when I got back, I was actually eager to jump on the Call of Duty train again, and I found myself utterly bored. I did welcome the Resurgence map. I think it's great fun. Don't know why it took so long to add solos. I'm missing duos. I'm missing trios. I guess trios is there, but I just missed the duos as well. Solos has been added finally, but if it comes down to multiplayer, I just can't be bothered to even fire it up, and that is the poor state of Call of Duty we're in right now. Because let's face it, how in Earth did we got from this actually to this? And this is, I would almost call it the Fortniteification of Call of Duty, but that actually is an insult to Fortnite. Although I'm not discussing Fortnite, I play it sometimes, and in terms of content and the richness of content and the amount of people playing, it's and how it's supported. If one game is almost manically supported, it's unprecedented form of support for a game like Fortnite that added new modes, new things to do. It's a completely different game than Call of Duty that is lacking any form of support. And how bad it is with Call of Duty right now, let's just look at it Steam chart here. So here we go. This is 4 minutes ago. We had 86,385,000 people playing. You can also see the steady decline here from November all the way here to March. We had a 24-hour peak of 123,000, and an all-time peak was already 500,000 almost. And if you're looking at the loss and the gains here, you see minus 45%, minus 75%. You're not gaining anything right now. It's almost pathetic to see what is happening to Call of Duty. And if I look at a tweet from Charlie Intel, who discusses what he wants to see, then I got it here. It's what Call of Duty multiplayer needs to be fun again. More and good 6v6 maps. I couldn't agree more. The core and the heart of Call of Duty has always been the 6v6 small type maps. Arcade style, running gun, fast paced gaming experience, but it's completely ruined with a complete lack of content. The content we have is not from a Champions League level, and for the most part, it's leaning constantly on things we already know, and that's freaking pity. Now, the second one is red dots on the minimap. It's it's almost hilarious that this is a discussion point for whatever reason. The game is so tailored to serve the need of the mass that it's trying to be the jack of all trades, but it's actually the master of none. It's trying to tailor to a an audience that doesn't care too much, that is really casual, that and what happens then if you tailor a game towards that? You can see it in the Steam charts because this is not just Steam. This is across the board. I will bet my ass for it that eventually these are all the console numbers as well. But if you tailor to that audience, these people move on really quickly. If they're bored and they don't find that long term entertainment or satisfaction in a game, they will move on to other games. This market is just filled with things to do in games. So if you want to grasp an audience and keep that close to you, then you need to understand why people kept close to Call of Duty. And that means that you will need to remove skill-based matchmaking, that you need to focus on these 6v6 maps and come with unique, meaningful, never seen before content. And that's not there. Instead of, they're removing red dots, they're adding SBMM, they're adding all kinds of things that is there to serve, I would say, average Joe, weak Timmy, people who just do a few games and then move on. So Ninja is a perk. I think the entire perk system is just, it's just dumb. It doesn't make any freaking sense. They removed the system that worked well in its core. Also gave players the option to really felt the freedom to play around with different perks and to optimize the gameplay that really is of their own liking. Now you're being tailored into a few sets and that's it. And that's across the board. If you're looking at the calling card system, there is basically nothing to do to grind for calling cards. And I think that up until Black Ops Cold War, even, it was pretty good. If you now go to Black Ops Cold War, you start it up, and in the challenges section, you will find calling cards and stuff to do and to grind and unlock for. So yeah, here we go. The third one, normal perk system. Pick 10, simplified, create a class. Yeah, I the people like to pick 10. Eventually, Black Ops Cold War did it a bit in a different way, but the underlying core is still the same. You have a very set amount of slots to work with to optimize your gameplay, and I think the pick 10 really worked in the earlier days of Black Ops Cold War, Black Ops, excuse me for that. That really worked well, but it's not there anymore, and it really ties people into a certain playstyle. No insane attachments, tuning, and control. Yeah, I think simpler is always better, and I think that what we had really worked well because people get the same set of materials, and you don't have to dive into that deep. Call of Duty was never about sophisticated things before the gameplay. It was all of getting good in the gameplay, and that's I really don't understand this whole insane tuning of attachments. Ranked at launch, that is even a freaking that is even a freaking topic already says a lot. We had constantly with Call of Duty, you end that year or that cycle with a game that is actually rich in content and good, and as soon as you start paying $70 or $80 for your new game of Call of Duty, then you're being stripped of everything you had. Ranked maps, content, things to do, challenges, I don't know, what have you. It's just being stripped, and then they're going to put it on a drip, and then they're going to act like they're bringing new content to the game. Ranked is not bringing new content to the game. You took it out, and then with the new Call of Duty, then you just hold it with you, and then you say, oh, you go ranked new content. That is not how this works. Shipment and shoot house are not, it's not new content. This is not meaningful, unique content you bring. Back in the days, we launched with over 16 maps at launch. You might be lucky if you have 7 or 8 right now, and from those, Some of them are even not really 6v6 multiplayer maps. So if you really narrow it down, you start with 6v6 maps, which is just, it's almost criminal. Better audio, yeah. To me, that's the least of the problems. I would really say go fix the core and go back to what it made good, and then start working on sounds. You have 3,000 devs, and this is what they come up with when they got back from holiday. It's, I am really really bored with this game, and I have no idea what Sledgehammer is going to bring. I already hear rumors that it's going to be a World War II again, and I don't know if I'm up for that. I've got no idea. Sledgehammer just took the biggest L and the biggest dump on the franchise with Vanguard, and this is also a thing. This whole skin. Again, this one, it is so a microcosmos of the total disconnect between a community on the one hand, and you've got the board of directors and the marketing guys and everybody who's just trying to make you buy the game with flashy trailers and promises. And on the other side, you've got the devs. So this triangle of groups, the community, marketing, and the board of directors of Activision and the developers, and then you've got the devs. And this magical triangle is just not connected at all. It's at all. Nobody asked for this. Nobody is hyped for this. If you're hyped for this, you need to see a shrink. If you're developing this, you need to see a shrink. If you think it's okay to pour it out in the system for people to buy, you need to see, and you're in need of mental support, really dire need. So there is a huge disconnect in the franchise, and I'm not seeing that going away in the foreseeable future. Sledgehammer is going to fuck it up. Let's just put it out on the table. Sledgehammer is going to fuck it up. Activision is going to let it happen because eventually they will sell another 10 billion in a few days, and then people will run away from the game again. It's just FOMO, fear of missing out. That's the reason why people buy this. So I will bring some content. I still got some good content laying around. Just wanted to say, guys, I'm back from holidays. It's been a few weeks. Thanks for your patience and love your support, and I will see you soon.